Okay, start. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, everyone? And welcome to this new session of using AI in modern research. My name is Mahmoud Al Raggal, which is a strange name. And I'm an assistant professor of pharmacy practice and assistant professor of pharmacology and toxicology in Al Qura University. I'm also a research fellow in Edinburgh Neighbour University in Scotland, UK, and senior teaching staff in TH Chain, Harvard School of Public Health, in a program called Principle and Practice of Clinical Research. Today, we are going to talk about the tools and the different AI tools that we can use in modern research. But actually, I made a two pathway for the session, and you will decide yourself what will be the objectives of this session based on series of questions that we are going to ask shortly. And once we reach out a consensus from, I think we have around 50 something participant, then 60 something participant, and then we will decide which what shall be our progress in this session. Before I start, I'll start speaking a little bit about myself in research. So before the era of ChatGPT or the era of large language model, most of us who are in the research, like let's call it teams, it was taking lots and lots of time to produce one paper. And sometimes you can say that if someone is publishing like two papers a year, this is like the gold standard uh, among all researchers. With the introduction of different varieties of tools that can hit every part of the production of the paper production, it's now much and much easier for the new generation. And we can see that every day we have a new tool uh, that can facilitate your life. So today's session, we will delve on what are these tools, when to use, when not to use, what am I doing, and what I have done recently in my new publications, and that's it. But today's session is not, and this is important, that we are using, the AI in maybe writing, in searching the literature, maybe analyzing the data, generating tables or images, formatting references. But we are not discussing here the use of large language model in predicting outcomes or in supporting diagnosis or like suggesting treatment. So it's mainly about the manuscript itself rather than other things. I'm lucky enough that I have a grant from Saudi NIH, one of the biggest grants in the country, which is the title of my grant is Use of AI uh, in, so this is something in the diagnosis of something that I cannot disclose now, but what I'm saying is this is completely different from what we are talking about here. So it's a supporting tool in the diagnosis, maybe supporting tool in prognosis, in prediction, or in treatment, but this is not the core of today's session. So today's session, we are focusing on AI in the manuscript style, in the manuscript writing, the searching, and so on. Okay, just to make sure, because the word AI is a very, let's say, vague word. So, as we all know, the roadmap of research start from the literature review and the idea creation. And so far, the research question is the most important step in your research. Whether you have all the AI tools that you have in your life, if you don't have a good research question, it's like the famous wording, garbage in, garbage out. So regardless of you have wrote the best literature review, you have done the best design, you have a world-class data analysis, okay? You have created the best imaging, but if the research question itself is poor research question, repeated research question, not useful research question, it will not go to a good journal. Deciding what is a good journal, what is a bad journal, it's not our talk today, but it's really, really important because we have seen in the last few years, people are publishing in, unfortunately, very unpopular, very unprestigious, just money-taking publishers. Um we can say some kind of predatory journals. Although the idea itself is really good, but they want to publish fast, and this will affect them in their future career. So again, formulating your question is the most important thing, and you always need to revisit your research question again and again before you decide to start your journey in your publication. Then you decide and you plan what's going on in your research. You start writing your protocol. You get your IRP approval if it is an original research, and then you do the data collection, the analysis of the data, and then you start the writing process. And we will see in every step how the new AI tools now are helping us. And one important thing is, using AI when it started, some people started, saying, "Oh, he's using ChatGPT. Oh, no, this is wrong. This is not right." Think of it as like, the original telephone and then the evolution of the telephones. It's an easier way to deal with normal stuff, to deal with repetitive stuff, to deal with some stuff that, to fasten the process. It's like when they started the calculator versus the handwritten calculation. So the evolution of research is something normal, and it's not something to be ashamed of. But everything in its start, people are just more worried of using it. So till like the 1980s, the traditional research was a manual literature review. There was no PDFs, there was no online journals. Um, they used the paper survey, the hard copy paper survey, the manual analysis with the equations and writing down the manual analysis, and even the typewriting manuscript. And then we moved from the 1980s till the before to 2019, the before ChatGPT. We start having digital database that you can search on, the online forms that everybody is using, knowledge and attitude of whatever, the statistical software, Stata, SAS, SPSS, and the word processors like Word, doc. And now we are moving from the digital era to the AI enhanced research. Now we can see the AI powered search. Now, if you are just searching your anything in Google, you will find a suggestion from Gemini giving you, an overview of the things that you are looking for. Smart data collection ways now, automated analysis, and we may come across one of those automated analysis tools that you might not need a statistician in the future, not in everything, but you might not. An AI writing assistant, and now the most famous is the ChatGPT. So it's a kind of evolution research, okay? Uh, so to understand this, we need to understand what is artificial intelligence. what is general and generative, and why it is important to know. This is not something hypothetical. This is not something for the purpose of definition and defining what is AI, defining what is generative. No, because it will help us when we check what tool we are going to use. Okay, so the key characteristics of AI in general is a pattern recognition, a problem solving, learning from experience, and adaptive to new input. And the difference between using AI is actually with us since like 40 years ago, embedded in our PCs, in our desktops, in the computers, since a long time. It's not something new. The newest thing is the generative AI. So this is the evolution of the AI. We started with the AI in the computer, in the chips of the computer, and then the machine learning. And what we meant by machine learning when it is first introduced in the late 1990s is what's called a supervised learning. Supervised learning is like the teacher in the class that give you an instruction, give you an example of what to do, and then you follow these instructions. So this is what's called supervised learning. And it depends on data, but not large amount of data. And then came what's called deep learning or natural language processing. And these deep learning techniques are now a shift from machine learning, and they are the base of the generative AI. And these learning techniques, using the deep learning, they made what's called unsupervised learning. And what is mean by unsupervised? You see, supervised, there's someone who's supervising, and then unsupervised learning is the complete opposite. You have the data, you don't have a clear instruction, and from the data, you are thinking what to do with this data. Okay, this is again for the machine. So they give the machine data, and this data, okay, what can you relate these data to each other? Are they similar? Are they different? Can we predict something from these data? This is the next level after the machine learning. It's called the deep learning, and it did not stop at the data. It made the data not only as 0 and 1, not only as numbers, but also it included the image data, it included even the text data, it included the audio data. And then finally, the generative AI. The generative AI first published paper about generative AI was in 2019, and till the introduction of ChatGPT in 2021 or early 2022. And this is a complete different story. This happened after someone introduced what's called transformers, a subtype of deep learning. And in this generative AI, now the machine have lots and lots of data from millions of sources that they can use to generate a complete new data set, a complete new information. But why it is important to know this? Because generative AI depends mainly on what you are putting in as a source. So just imagine if I'm telling you your mind has uh, all the information, medical, pharmacy, dentistry information, and I'm asking you a question about medical, pharmacy, dentistry, and then you can process using generative AI and give me an answer, okay? But what if I give you in your mind all the data in the whole world, for like 1,400 years till now? For example, you have all these data, then you might get confused. You might get new things that I don't need, or you might come up with answers that I might not need. And this is actually the main difference between in research using ChatGPT, for example, using Gemini, for example, and using specific tools. Okay, and we will see. We will do lots and lots of examples uh, within the session just to show the difference between using a general generative AI tool and using a specific tool. Okay. And then we will see which one is more relevant to our search, which one is more convenient to us. Okay. So think of ChatGPT is the new Google now. Okay. And think of the other specific tools is like, a tailored Google to answer a question only related to the topic that I am asking. So this is the difference between AI and generative AI. So what to expect from today's talk? Uh, I will hear from you now. We will use a tool, an interactive tool called Poll Everywhere, just to know because we have like around 90 plus participants. So we will know what you guys have done so far, what's your experience, and then to check out which pathway shall we choose in our session so that you benefit the most. Okay. You supposed to scan this code. I'm not sure if you can check this code. You're supposed to scan this code, and then we will go through like 4 questions, and we will see all of us the responses of these questions so that to know the first question is, have you used AI tools in your research? I'm not talking about your assignment, okay? I'm not talking about general questions. I'm not talking about creating images, okay? I'm not talking about anything other than research, okay? So let's see what our audience think of. We'll give you 2 minutes and then, or 1 minute, so that we don't waste your time. Okay. Okay, we have around, let's say 40%, unless it's change. So we have around maybe 38% who did not use AI tools in research. 12% said we use it sometimes. 38% said we use it frequently. So we almost have two different population, two different population in our uh, equally splitted two different population. A population of 50% of the participant, and this might be a research, right? 50% of the participants have frequently or on daily uses using AI tools. So those like around we have 999. So like around 50 participant, which is 50%, say we are using it frequently, and almost 50% they did not use it. Okay, let's go to the second question. Um, Whether you are using it or not, what interests you the most about AI in research? So whether you use it or you did not use it, would you be interested more in the literature search? Would you be interested more in the data analysis as a writing assistant for you, or for idea generation, or maybe for others? And we can hear from you in the chat. What are those others? And why I'm asking this question, so that I focus on the tools that will help you in the thing that you will use the most. So that's why I said at the beginning, you will decide what is the objectives of this session. Okay, all of the above, yeah. Yeah, I did not put this option so that, yeah, it's all of the above. It's supposed to be an option, but why I did not put it, because we will not have time for all of the above. That's why, when you think about it, you think of what is the most important thing to me. So around 50% said writing assistant, which is normal. We are not uh, English speaking individuals, so we need support in writing, which is very clear. And then literature review, uh, 20%, and 12% as a data analysis, and idea generation is 12%, and others, and we know the others are the all of the above people. And which is actually normal to see, 50% asking for writing, and then literature review. These are the things that are most people ask for. And then the idea generation, and again, although 12% asked for idea generation, till now I highly against asking large language model for idea generation. They are not yet to the level of generating new research idea. Maybe in the near future, you see, every year, not every year, every 1 or 2 months we have something new. But till now, I don't think that they are at the level of generating a new idea. Okay, what is this? Sorry. Okay, moving on to the next question. What is your main interest from this session? So, are you here to explore how to use the AI in research, or not to get caught using AI research, or I'm here for the attendance certificate? If something, if something that you did not use, then it's good that we use it, in our session. Uh, okay. And you see why ChatGPT is, because many people are just typing ChatGPT. That's why it has like um, the largest font size. Elicit, okay. Open evidence, okay. Perplexity. Any other tool anyone used before? Scholar, Ryan, okay. That's good. Gemini, DeepSeek, good. And you see, if next year we did the same session, you will find a complete different tools than the tools that are written here in front of you. Quillpot, okay, that's good, because almost every month or every 2 months we have a new tool. Okay, moving on to the last question. And this last question is, because we want a topic, and we are with, I think, the Saudi Society of Emergency Medicine. So um, I asked it, ChatGPT, the topics for emergency medicine, and ChatGPT suggested some topics, and I put these topics, and you guys decide. Why? Because this is what I will, when I will start using the tools, I will start using a topic of interest to you. Okay, I will not use a topic that of my interest. Let's just improvise and use a topic that many people want. Okay.
ذيك المجنونة.
Okay, so let's see. We have, well, actually almost similar. Respiratory medicine, neurological, toxicological, pediatric, environmental. So we can choose one of these, the topics of respiratory, neurological, toxicological, and metabolic. Okay, I think, and that's it. Now we know that half of you used ChatGPT and other tools before, and half of you did not use it in research. Most of you want the how to use AI tools, and this is actually the first topic. So I prepared two topics. This topic and the other topic is how not to get caught. But most of you asked for how to use, and then most of you said these are the tools. The most common used tool is ChatGPT. With other tools have been used, but in a less frequently. And then you said either we go for respiratory, or we go for neurological, or we go for uh, metabolic disorders. Okay. Then, so by this, let's start with how to use ChatGPT. And you can see here, I did not put everything, but I put the common generative AI chatbot, the ChatGPT, the Perplexity, the Cloud, the Google Gemini, the Microsoft Copilot, the Consensus, and DeepSeek. And for those who did not use it, you can see that most of your colleagues who have answered the question already answered that these are the common generative AI chatbot that are being used. And actually, I'm not saying this is wrong because I'm a ChatGPT fan, but uh, as I told you, ChatGPT is like Google of when you do search, you will get a lot and lot of maybe unrelated to your topic kind of research. But if you use a specific tools, this might give you, a more sensitive and also a more specific answer to your questions. Okay. Um, I will not go for the theoretical part, benefit versus challenges. Okay. So how to use an AI tool? In each of these tools that we are going to use now, there is what's called the prompt. And this prompt is how you are asking the tool, the bot, on any specific thing that you would like to ask. So these are four things that you keep in mind. The first thing is your role. So if you are asking ChatGPT, you will start with as a researcher, for example, or as a data analyst, if you want to ask ChatGPT something about data analysis, or as a reviewer, if you are reviewing a paper, okay, or as, for example, if you want something, if you want ChatGPT to make like an OSCE case as an OSCE examiner, okay, so you start with deciding for ChatGPT or for the tool that we are going to use what is its role, okay, what's the role. And then the second thing is you ask for the task. So what is the task that you want ChatGPT or other tools to use? So as, for example, as a researcher, I would like you to do a literature review, for example, on this topic. So this is the task, and you as a researcher, so you don't write as a writer, you don't write as lay person, you don't write as an educator. No, you are writing as a researcher, okay. And then you ask the tool for which format. I wanted in like a paper format, I wanted as a document, I wanted as a Word file format. And then you end up with restrictions. For example, you can say, I wanted in don't write lay person, strict to academic writing. Don't write American style, write in English style, so that if you are publishing it in like an English journal, not a British journal, sorry, not an American journal. So you start with the rule, and then you ask, what is your task? And then you ask, what is the format? And finally, the restrictions. Okay, and sky is the limit. And the more you are very specific in your prompt, even if you wrote a complete paragraph, okay, to decide exactly what you are asking for, the more you will have different results from maybe your friend who will ask a similar question. And the thing about the role, it's only in the general GPT. I mean, like in ChatGPT, in Gemini, you will ask as a role. But if we go to the specific tool that we are going to show you now, then you don't need this role, because there they know you are here only for the data analysis, for example. So you will not say, as a data analyst, if you are actually in a data analysis tool, right? For example, if I'm teaching a medical student and I'm asking the first student, what's your name? He will not say, my name is Ahmed. I'm a medical student, because I'm teaching medical student, right? So you don't need the first thing in the prompt in all the tools. You only need it in the general tools like ChatGPT and Gemini, okay? So yeah, for example, we will go for all the examples now, okay? You can check this on the internet. Just type down ChatGPT sheet, and you will find different roles, different tasks, different format, different restrictions, which can help you, okay? The most important thing is, and with this, I will finish the theoretical part, and we will complete the whole maybe half an hour, 1.5 hour with the practical part. Okay, how to ask AI tools to do the work, and this is really important. This is one of the key points. If you are not familiar with using ChatGPT or any large language model, is that you know what you are asking. If you don't know what you are doing, AI tools won't help you doing it right, because you don't know what you are expecting. And this is the difference between two are using ChatGPT. And this is actually why many educators will tell their students, yes, okay, you have used ChatGPT, or you have used it wrong. Okay, why? Because when you don't know, okay, what you are doing, you will not know whether the results you are giving are actually right results or not. This is and this happened mainly if you are, for example, in critical thinking kind of tasks, that you will find yourself answering your answer are completely, let's say, not authentic, completely very strange, that it will show to the educators, or it will show to the researcher or the reviewers, that you don't know what you are talking about. So this is really important, that you need to know what you are doing, and you need to have in your mind what exactly you are expecting to see, from the results. Okay, uh, let's practice, and after the practice, we can go like have a brief at the end on how not to get caught using ChatGPT. So to practice, I'm not sure if you can see my screen. Uh, can you see my screen? The ChatGPT. Okay. Okay. So to practice, we can start with let's decide a topic first. You guys said toxicology, emergency. I have one topic close to me is use of AI, okay, in predicting sepsis. okay, use of AI tools in predicting sepsis. Let's start with ChatGPT. Before I start, I want you to remember what are the prompts that we have said in ChatGPT. We said role, task, format, and restrictions. Okay, uh, think of those four, and I want everyone in the chat to start typing a prompt that I should ask ChatGPT, and let's see the difference between different prompts. Okay, so this is how we are going to use it. Um, think of if you were in my place, and also if anyone has his own mobile or laptop, you start practice with me all the tools that we are going to do together, so that it's more benefit to you. Okay, I want you in the chat now, type down those four that we have spoke about: uh, role, task, format, restrictions. Okay, and the prompt we are asking is the use of AI in sepsis prediction. Okay, unless anyone want any other, let's say, research question, you can type it down. I just chose something that it's in emergency sepsis. So, but anyone, if you want any other research question, I'm open to any research question. And if we are okay with the AI in sepsis prediction, just type down a prompt, and let's see this prompt, and let's see different people coming with different prompts. Okay. Okay. Anyone want to write in the chat? Okay. So we have GA. As a researcher, I want you to formulate a publish ready paper reinforcing proper research articles that follow correct formatting. Make sure to use proper and no plagiarism and flow correctly. Um, we I don't not sure what is this, but we are focusing on this research question. Okay, this is really good, but then link it with the research question that we are asking, which is the use of AI, artificial intelligence, in predicting sepsis. Okay. I want a literature review on the use of AI in predicting sepsis from reputable database like PubMed. Okay. Okay. So as a researcher, start reviewing the current medical literature on the following topic: the use of AI in sepsis prediction. Use only the data available on PubMed. Okay. Thank you, Omar, and thank you, Manan. So here, let's start with the first prompt. I want a literature review, okay, on the use of AI in predicting sepsis. So by this is the task. We can just add at the beginning, uh, we want what is your role. So as Omar mentioned, for example, as a researcher. Okay, I want a literature review on the use of AI in predicting sepsis from reputable databases, okay, like PubMed. This is, this is as a start. It's a good start. Or you can, for example, Omar mentioned one restriction. He said, use only. So this was the restriction. Use only the data available on PubMed. I don't want any data from like predatory journal or something that is not cited on PubMed. Um, and also because ChatGPT is known by its hallucination, you can add that make sure you are using a proper citation, a proper accurate citation or references. You can add that I want, sorry, all the used references to be within the last 5 years, for example, so that you will not have anything in the 90s uh, uh, or in the early 2000s. So the more you think of what to use, okay, the more you will have better results. And this is the normal search using ChatGPT. Okay, you can add I want the format to be an award type format. As a reviewer, I need to help make a review literature about AI and permit it in PDF file, and don't include any other complication that AI can predict in PubMed. Again, this is really good. Don't include any other complications. So that's why I said, am I a disadvantaged user of free plan in ChatGPT? We will speak about this. We will speak about this soon. So this is like a prompt. So let's see what will happen with this prompt. Here you have a tool. We will not use it now, but let's see. So when I ask this question, just 1 or 2 seconds, and then you will get the answer. Okay, these are from 2020 to 2025. And then the literature review with the publication. Here you need to make sure that that ChatGPT has the problem of hallucination. Okay, so here you need to check when you have something like this. You need to check the reference that they have used, early detection of sepsis using machine learning. When it was published in 2024. And then not only that, you will need to make sure that this, whatever they wrote here in the comprehensive network meta-analysis is actually found here, because sometimes it put the reference, but actually the reference is not in the text, just put a relative reference, okay? So here, for example, you need to find a specific data, AUC 0.8, and then you check here the AUC 0.8, whether it's there or not. And we will need the full text to make sure. Okay, the pooled AUC is 0.8. Yes, you understand what I'm saying? So you need to double check after ChatGPT what was written there, and whether what was written there is actually what you need or not. Okay, and then after you make this check, you go to the algorithm, you go to, sorry, to the structure of the literature review. Is this the structure that you are actually asking for? the use of artificial intelligence in early sepsis, one systematic review. You are not asking like this, right? We don't write papers this way, right? So now you will ask ChatGPT that, look, whatever you have wrote, after you check all the the citation that it has used, and then you will recheck these references again, and then you will say, okay, as a first draft, I want you to write it down as a first draft. Uh, I need you to highlight the gaps in the uh, literature. Sorry, gaps in the literature. You can say after you write, please, should I include avoid AI detectors? Um, uh, you cannot avoid AI detectors, and AI detectors actually aren't that good because they might, most AI detectors, except for the one in Turnitin and the one in Authenticate, um, that otherwise they will, it will. Most AI detectors actually sometimes detect human text as AI, which is not AI. And can I also provide the reference? Again, is it ethical? Yeah, this is a good question. We did not come yet. We are just in the, in the area of searching and how to write a prompt. We will go through the ethical part, what to take from here and what not to take from here, okay? And so I want you to write down, and then I will ask him, please change this reference, for example, with another, and then I put down what is the reference that I want it to change with another reference. I want you to, uh, search on the use of large, open data sets publicly available, because you actually know what you are talking about, right? You just don't write down these things uh, unless you already have some idea of what you are talking about. So one of the things in predicting sepsis is you have the data from previous research. For example, there are two major large data set from Harvard and from MIT called the PhysioNet dataset and the Mimic dataset. These are like data from 40,000 patients that are publicly available, and they started now using it to predict sepsis. So you can ask ChatGPT, search on the use of publicly like Mimic and PhysioNet. Okay, so you are asking it because you did not find it here, so that's why you are saying, you know what, I want you to include this in the paper. Okay, so again, then now you will find that, okay, based on your these things, literature review, overview of, so it will give you a brief overview of identifying the gaps. These are the gaps in the literature. These are the selected new reference. Because actually, I did not tell it what is the reference that I want you to choose. So he just put another reference, and from here you can see that I think some of the references here are, just a repetitive reference. Um, So this is what you know will normally get when you start searching ChatGPT in the in the free version. So one of you asked, this is this because I'm using the free version now. There are the deep search version, and this deep search version, we will run the same prompt that we have put here, just to see the difference between the prompt here on the search, on the normal search, and on the deep search. And let's say, and I want it to be, for example, published in BMJ journal, or I want it to be in BMJ journal style. Okay, British Medical Journal style. Okay, so now we have used the deep search for the same prompt uh, in the same, make it another base so it doesn't get confused. No, it's okay. Let it get confused. Now you will see the difference between deep search and not deep search. Okay. Now we will keep it open. He will ask at the beginning some questions for deep search. Okay. And then when we answer those questions, it will start working for a few minutes till it is finished. So he said, or it said, do you want the review to focus on a specific patient setting, emergency department? So now you will reply, I want it to focus on an emergency and ICU. Should it cover only machine learning and deep learning, or include rule-based? And in sepsis, the most famous rule in detecting sepsis is the rule-based. But I will say I want it to focus on deep learning only because it's the new thing. Deep learning only. Do you want inclusion of clinical trials data? Yes. Include all the previous trials. What is your desired length? Not more than 1,500 words. Should I include tables and figures? If possible, use figures and tables. How, till it's publish this data, will you at the end put this ChatGPT result in your paper? Completely not. You will not use the results here in your data. But why we are using all this? You will not use this in your writing, okay? But why we are doing this and why we are doing it in like 1,500 words? Think of it as if it is, especially the deep search. Think of it as as it's someone who summarized the topic for you, giving you the highlights, giving you what is important in every paper. You read it, or at least this is what I'm doing. You read it one, two, three times. You get everything in your mind, what is happening now and what is, what is the recent things. And then you do the same. And to be honest, for me, if I'm talking about personal experience, you do the same not only on ChatGPT, if you're doing the search, you are doing it to at least three other AI tools. So you do this here, and then you go to Copilot, and then you go to Gemini, for example, and then to the other tools that you are using. And because it will take some time, we will go to the other tools till it finish. When it finish, it will tell us, it will send an email that I have finished this, so I can check when it finished, and we can go back to it. Okay, and you will see here in the deep search, first actually you can read after it finish, you can read, what they have done, how ChatGPT think of everything here, and start reading every paper and start, including something, it will start working for around 10 to 15 minutes. In the meanwhile, till it finish, we will go to another tool, and then we will start doing the same process in different tools and see how we are going to get different results. And every tool, which are we using this tool for? Okay. So I will start now with the process. I just started with ChatGPT because most people are using ChatGPT, and I know it will take 10 to 15 minutes. But actually, when we are doing our research, we start with trying to find our paper. What is the proper way to find the papers that we will use in our search? So usually, when you are searching for something in the literature, you go for PubMed and you search for the paper. You go for Google Scholar, and then there is this new AI tool. It's from a very famous group called AI2 Scholar. They have lots and lots of tools, and and then we will see the same results. Sorry, we will see the results in all these tools, how it is different. So again, we will search for, let's say, AI in sepsis prediction, and let's see the difference when I search in PubMed and when I search in Google Scholar, and when I search in AI Paper Finder, and also when I search in Semantic Scholar. Those are like the top four in searching. So when I use AI in sepsis prediction, yes, I meant, it looks like I searched it wrong. Um, hmm, okay, and then fine. Okay, sorry, I typed it wrong. So when you start searching in PubMed, you will have around 829 results. And let's see like maybe the first 10 results. How relevant are the top 10 results? Okay, so the first one is machine learning for prediction of sepsis, a systematic review and meta-analysis, which is relevant to our search, right? Sepsis and septic shock. This is not relevant to our topic because it's only sepsis. Dynamic changes in human single cell transaction, completely not relevant. An overview of explainable AI studies in prediction of sepsis. Yes, it is reasonable and related to our search. Cefazolin, no. Clinical management, no. Transforming neonatal care with artificial, no. Cancer and sepsis in PD-1 light. So you can see the first top 10 results, and this is in PubMed the best match. Okay, the first 10 results are actually, two of them was not related. Okay, our filter was in the past 5 years. This was in ChatGPT. Okay, we did not use ChatGPT here. This is the same search in all in all the databases. The second one is the Google Scholar. Okay, and we are not searching in ChatGPT. ChatGPT is not a search tool so far, unless you're doing in deep search. AI in sepsis in Google Scholar, clinical application of artificial intelligence in sepsis, which is good. Artificial intelligence in sepsis in early prediction, again, it's good. Digesting the prediction and management of sepsis, well. Deployment of machine learning algorithm to predict sepsis, yes. The application of AI in management of sepsis, okay. And Yes, early prediction of sepsis. So you can see the top 10 results here are actually relevant, but what is the problem in Google Scholar? You have two, 210,000 results, right? Now, let's go to AI2 paper. What AI2 paper? It come up with only 74 papers, and they are telling you what are their process. So they are not only just doing the search, okay, why we are using Google Scholar. We already did this in ChatGPT. No, here we are just looking for the papers. Okay, so the proper way of doing any search is any research is you start by reading at the beginning the papers. Yes, exactly. Okay, reading the papers that are talking about the topic. ChatGPT is the second step, which is sensitizing those papers. Okay, I just started with ChatGPT, although this is like the not the normal hierarchy, because I know that it will take some time to do the deep search. So till the deep search finish, we will do the other things. Okay. So in the AI2 paper finder, and again, this is only paper finder. Okay. In the AI paper finder, you can read, starting new query, processing the request, and then analyzing the request, and it will tell you how they are searching. In PubMed, what they are doing is AI, search for the word AI, search for the word sepsis, search for the word prediction. But here, they said to be considered relevant, the paper content must satisfy sepsis prediction, AI methods, AI for sepsis prediction, and then they start the process of searching for the paper, running keywords, following citation, re-ranking candidate documents, and so on, sorting and then founding relevant and finalizing the response. And you can even, after they search it, okay, you can actually ask it to work harder, that I'm not happy, I want you to work more, or you can ask it to refine your search. Okay, so these are the 74 papers, and they are telling you out of those 74, you will have 67 perfectly relevant, one is relevant, and six are somehow relevant. That means those six, they don't have, the same judgment, which is artificial intelligence, sepsis, and prediction. So let's see the first top 10 response: artificial intelligence in sepsis, early prediction and diagnosis, prospective multi-site study of patient outcome after implementation of the machine learning based early warning system for sepsis, integration of AI into clinical practice. This one is not actually, completely relevant. It will have sepsis within, but it's not in the title. Prediction of sepsis patient, artificial intelligence sepsis prediction, and early detection of sepsis, and so on. Not only that, you can export all those citations uh, in one of these, maybe the Markdown, the BBTeX, the JSON. So to use it later, or you can actually right click and search for the paper itself. And here you will see when they search for the paper, they use the semantic scholar to search for the paper. So their background database is the semantic scholar. Okay. Okay. So this is one of the very good tools in searching for papers that you want to use in the future, or in your research. You can download them, the papers, because they are way much focused. We have seen in AI, in PubMed, just a simple search. Yeah, we know we can do advanced search and reach out to a more proper, refined search, but we are just using the same tools in every those if in each one of those sites, and we have seen there's like a different results. The last one is the Semantic Scholar, and you will see the Semantic Scholar give us 237 results. And again, this one is one of the tools that many are using as a background of their AI tools. One of the good tools actually to be used. It's similar to AI2 Paper Finder. I personally find AI2 Paper Finder more user friendly, but again, it's up to you. Just you can try this one, Semantic Scholar. You can try this one, AI2 Paper Finder, and you can check with both and see which one is better for you. Yes, sure, Omar. You can check what's your methodology for using AI in searching for papers. If you want to open the mic or if you want to write down, both are okay. Totally fine. Just open the mic or write down. Not sure if the mic is available to everyone, but if it is available, just open the mic or write it down. Okay. Okay. Till Omar write down. Um, so these both are tools along with the tools that we know. So in PubMed, for example, I never search here. I usually search in advanced search, and I don't use let's delete this. Um, I never use all the keywords at once, but what I do is I write down artificial intelligence, for example, and then you add it to your background, and then you write down sepsis, for example, and then you want the sepsis to be in the title, and then maybe you do your search, or you can just type down artificial intelligence. Sorry, you can add to history artificial intelligence, okay, and then you type down sepsis in the title of abstract, add it to the history, and then you add the sepsis and you add with and the artificial intelligence and you add to history, and you will find you have around 1,000 results. And again, you can narrow down your search using the advanced search. Okay. Um, I don't think you got my point. In the manuscript, you note which database you use in searching for the paper. What about the papers I got from AI model for a systematic doing? Okay. So you are talking about using, oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, we are not talking here about systematic review, okay? This is a good point. Thank you, Omar, for highlighting this. We are not here talking about systematic review, okay? In systematic review, from the name, it's called systematic, right? So because it's systematic, you need to, till now, okay, till now, you cannot use any of these AI tools because it will not give you, as long as the research community are not agreed upon them, it will not give you, as per the research community, it will not give you a comprehensive research, okay, or a comprehensive search. So uh, you need to follow the traditional pathway, which is searching at least 3 to 4 databases, and these 3 to 4 databases, you search all of them, you narrow them down, and then you complete your Prisma checklist, till you reach the paper that you are going to scan and screen and do the rest of the stuff, okay? But here we are not talking about a systematic review. We are talking about literature review, right? So in the literature review, it's completely different from systematic review. In the literature review, we just want to identify gaps in the literature. We want to highlight what is there in the literature and what is not there in the literature using the focus papers in the research gap. Okay, so hopefully the rest know the difference between what the systematic review, the criteria for systematic review and the criteria for literature review. Okay, we it's not our topic here to speak about systematic review. We have maybe another topic. I think you already have another topic. I think they shared with me. You have like a small topic about systematic review. So it's a complete different story to search for a systematic review than to search for a literature review. In systematic review, actually, if the rest didn't have any, it did not do any systematic review before, let me share one systematic review of mine. So, for example, this systematic review in 2018. In systematic review, let's open the paper. I think it's in the paper, not in the. So you will need to. Okay, here you will need to, till now, you will need to say, what are the databases that I have came across with the date, the date till this time. These are the database, the Embase, the Ovid, the PubMed, and so on. Okay, so in the systematic review, it's a complete different story than the literature review. Okay. Okay. Thank you. No, thank you, Omar, for, because it might get some people to confuse. And actually, you know what I did? This is really interesting. So sometimes you say, for example, this AI2 paper finder. What if I want to include it that I use this? So unfortunately, let's see the Google Scholar. Unfortunately, AI2 paper finder. When do you know that you can use this in your search, AI2 paper finder or AI2 paper? You check how many people have used it in their in their paper, so that when you are saying I use this tool, you need to make sure, whatever the tool that you are using, you need to make sure that someone already used this tool in their research and it's already published and the methodology of their paper has been published. So because each of these tools are actually, it's some kind of engineering, study of potential. No, it's not this. So these are A2 Scholar. Yes, here you can see that the AI2 Scholar, it's now in the literature, but not in PubMed yet, because it's I think it's in engineering, something like this. You cannot say, or at least for me, I will not say that I used AI tool, and it will not affect my credibility. Why it will not affect my credibility? When it will affect my credibility, if I'm using fake references, right? If I'm using fake papers. But if this paper is already in the literature, it's not the job of anyone to say how I searched for the papers. As long as the papers are already there, it's not hallucination or some kind of fake paper. Is this clear now? It's different from if you are using a systematic review or if you are searching for systematic review. It will affect your credibility if you said, I did a comprehensive research using AI to paper finder. Can I ask the model which database he used so I can go and double check? This is not the point. You don't need, because if you are getting papers and these papers are relevant to your search, you will only need this. You will only need those papers in your literature search. Okay, you will not need those papers in. You will not need your paper in any other thing other than your literature search. Okay, is this clear? Try to differentiate between literature search or literature review and systematic search or systematic review. Okay, this is complete different story. As I showed you in our paper, if you are doing systematic search, yes, I receive this many articles and then we assess for eligibility, blah blah blah, till we reach it. This full article. Here you will need to use the databases that everyone is agreed upon. Okay, but if you are just doing literature search, even in the systematic review itself, right? In the systematic review itself, in the introduction, so we are using some papers. Those papers, we don't need to do a systematic search to use those papers that we are going to use in our literature review. Okay, hopefully it's clear now. It's a good question, but it's a complete different story. Okay. Okay, so far, let's check if ChatGPT finished. Okay, yes. So you can see after ChatGPT here in the deep search used all the papers it came across. Now it went to introduce a new paper. Okay, sorry, a paper for, or sorry, let's say a literature review for using deep learning for sepsis prediction, a literature review. And to be honest with all of you, I think soon in the future or in the near future, we might see the journals stop accepting reviews. Reviews will mean nothing in the near future, right? Why it will mean nothing? Because if reviews is like, composing different ideas together, and if people are more and more depending on ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is getting better more and more, then I'm not interested in just writing someone's prompt, right? So that's why uh, the interest in doing reviews is becoming less these days, unless it's really a review that nobody has done before, because now ChatGPT is doing this job in very fast way, and its accuracy is becoming better and better every now and then. So um, if you want to do your, for example, your first research or your first paper, uh, I would suggest not going for a review, and don't give um, like reviews your highest like focus more on your original research than doing reviews. Okay. Um Okay, let's just complete our search. So this is the A2 paper finder, and I all this is for free, by the way. It's not a paid. If you want paid account, um, you don't need a paid account in here, and I did not even need to log in. Um, so this is the AI2 paper finder. When to use it? You use it when you want to collect the papers that you need to help you in defining your research question, in writing your literature review. Okay, so this is the tool. And why, for example, I use this tool, I don't use other tools. Uh, because as I said, this tool is focused mainly on finding the papers only. So that's why, you might at the end, write down for yourself, okay, when I want to, collect, the literature review, I will collect the papers from AI2 Paper Finder. If I want to do literature synthesis, I will do, for example, the notebook LM. If I want to do, extracting the data for a systematic review, I will use Elicit AI and so on. So you know which tool you want to use for every part, and this is for you. It will give you more accurate result than using ChatGPT. Okay. Can I use AI just to collect articles that I'm interested in systematic review, read them, and begin the systematic review steps? Yeah, nobody will tell you not to do this, but doing the Prisma chart, you will need to follow, the standard way of searching in the standard search databases. Okay. We will give like 10 minutes at the end because we still have more tools to search, and then we can, if we have time, um, but we will definitely go to all the ideas, or all the questions that you guys would like to ask. So okay. I will not go for Semantic Scholar more. You can search for it. You can search for authors. You can search for anything. For example, here they put an author. So you can search for authors and check the authors. And I think this is like the database from another. I think this is from ICE or something. So all databases, they are good in one thing. All tools, they are good, authentic in one thing, and the other thing they took it from other places. Um, um, I think no time for Storm. Let's go for Notebook LM, and this is one of the tools from Google. And really, this is not only in research. It's a very interesting tool. This tool is, now we collected those 70 papers, right? You remember, here we collected 70 papers in AI and sepsis, right? After you collect those 70 papers, 74 papers, okay, from, the second thing you can do is you put those papers in the Notebook LM, okay? Notebook LM is by Google. Let's see if I can export the citation as Markdown, download the papers one. Okay, load source. Here you can see it will accept PDFs. So if you have the papers as PDFs, okay, or text or markdown or even audio or GPG, okay, and you can add up to 50 sources, for example, 50 papers, okay, and what is this? Which one was this? Okay, and you upload the paper. So I uploaded the citation, AI and sepsis, okay, and you have a lot of things here. You can ask the notebook here. You have the all the citations from all the papers, and then you can start typing questions from those papers. Okay, what are the, for example, what are the common limitation? Because from limitations of in the research I presented. Okay, so because limitations from any paper is actually a potential research question. So if you want to, you remember when I told you it's not yet here to for the AI to generate ideas for you, right? But you can still do it by putting all the papers in the notebook and then ask questions for the notebook to tell you, for example, what are the limitations. There are some funny things that you can use. You can generate actually, if you are like me, like the audio, you can put the papers and then you can generate a conversation based on the source. And this conversation, it's like maybe like 10 to 15 minutes. It will give you a highlight in like a podcast format. And this podcast format, you can use it to listen about this topic in any time. It's like a host and a guest, and you can listen to the conversation between them. And not only that, I think I used it once. You can interrupt, for example. I'm not sure if the feature is still there or not, but I used it once to, interrupt as a listener and then ask questions as a listener. Okay, what do you think about, this idea? And then they will say, oh yeah, really? Oh, this is a very good question, or something like this. So Notebook, it's very, very interesting. I highly recommend you use it. Uh, when do you use it? After you use the AI paper finder. So you collect the papers from the AI paper finder, you download the papers from AI paper finder, and then you upload them into the Notebook LM. After you upload them into Notebook LM, you start by asking, what's the good research question from here? And then you start by maybe asking it to generate a literature review based on only those papers. And this is different from, when we use ChatGPT. ChatGPT, it will come up with its own reference. It will come up with, all the database it has access to. But here, no, we are the one who made like this focus group. We are the reservoir, as they say, right? So we are giving it what is supposed to search on, not everything. Okay. How can I use it if I collected the papers in the traditional way? Yes. So one thing you need to know about Notebook is it has a limitation of using only 50 50 papers. Okay, so you cannot upload more than 50 papers in any request. Which is, if you think about it, even if you are using a systematic review, you cannot use more than, or it's rarely to have a more than 50 papers in a systematic review, okay? Unless it's like a big systematic review with many meta-analysis under it. Otherwise, even if it is paid. To be honest, in this presentation, I tried to put only the free version of anything so that nobody needs to pay anything. Paid version, I'm not sure, to be honest, but you can check out. They always put limitations so that when you pay, you pay. And here, I'm not sure if you will be able to listen, but this is the audio format. Can you hear? Can you hear, or it's only in my ear? Can you hear this, or you cannot hear it? Hmm. Okay, let me 1 second. Hmm. Let's check again. Microphone. Think. Okay. Can you hear now? Yes. So you can see, you can listen to the podcast, uh, even, yeah.
So it's made a podcast. Yeah, unfortunately, because it's my voice is from the. I don't have an external speaker, so that's why I don't have here external speaker. So maybe you will not be able to hear it. And then I just put the beta version now. The beta version, it used to have an interactive. Again, sorry, I did not expect that we will go that far, or we will have time for interactive. But again, let's keep it running till. Okay, so here they are speaking, and then if I click join, but I need to think of a question.
Where the body's own infection response to this haywire really starts damaging tissues or organs.
Causes death worldwide. And the tricky part, diagnosing it traditionally can be slow, really difficult. Oh, our listeners got something shared. Let's hear it.
Oh, hi. Thank you for your discussion. I would like to ask about using the publicly available data sets in sepsis prediction. What do you think of this idea? And is it better or just using the, the my patient's data? Thank you.
Oh, that's a fantastic question, and thank you for joining us.
Yes, great to have you with us. It's a really critical point when we talk about AI in healthcare.
You're asking about publicly available data sets versus a hospital's own patient data for sepsis.
What's fascinating here is that both approaches have their unique strengths and challenges.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, using publicly available data sets can be incredibly valuable.
They often provide a massive amount of data filed from various sources.
So you see,
Help an AI model.
so you see, you can, let me put again so that I can hear you. You can see here that
Can you hear me now? Good. Is it good? Okay, great. So, what is good about it, but if you have time, that it, it listen to you very well, and even it answer you, they just understand what I'm talking about. It's relevant to the topic, and they start answering. But again, this might not be useful in research. It might be useful in your own study. What is useful in research, so that we focus on research more. What is useful in research that you can use it, upload your papers, and here you can someone asked it, uh, is it is it here select all sources, you can save here your previous research. Okay. Okay, so this is for the notebook. Again, I highly recommend using notebook after you use the AI tool paper finder. um, DeepSeek. Okay, DeepSeek. DeepSeek is the Chinese version of the ChatGPT, and this is the second thing I use in writing. Okay, after ChatGPT. So when I ask ChatGPT about a question, the second thing is I ask DeepSeek the same question, and I search, I read both so that I know what are the gaps in DeepSeek that I cannot find in ChatGPT, and vice versa. The good thing about ChatGPT, sorry, DeepSeek, because someone said, do I need the paid version? And we have seen here, the paid version of ChatGPT, the difference between the free version and the deep search version. DeepSeek give you a deep version for free, but it takes longer time, and you only have one response every day. But you can still use a deep search kind of type similar to ChatGPT, using a free version of the DeepSeek, but it will take longer time to finish. But again, you can just keep it running till till you finish your work, and then you can compare ChatGPT with DeepSeek. For me, if I'm searching for something, composing a research question, and wanted to know, if um, as I said, I'm not using it to create a research question, but I'm using it to refining the research question. Compare the results
between ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Gemini, three of them, and then see what what is in DeepSeek that I did not find in ChatGPT, and so on. Okay. Um, we don't have time to many tools now. I think we are running out of time, but let me quickly go to one tool of the Julius. Julius tool is it's a tool for data analysis. Okay, we have two tools for data analysis: the Julius notebook and the data line notebook. The difference between both of them is data line is actually on your machine. So you will download it and you will work on your machine. Why data line is important? But I never used it, to be honest. I just searched it before the meeting. It came to my mind that in Julius I upload my own data, but in data line you use it on your own machine, so nobody have access to your data, right? So that's why it's as a privacy. If privacy matters to the data that you are using, if it is patient data, if you don't want anyone else to have access to your data, then you can use data line. But when I use Julius, I'm not a fan of AI tools in data analysis. I do my own analysis. But when to use Julius, if your research is like cross-sectional type of research, knowledge and attitude of something, you can use Julius in these. It's not for complicated stuff, at least for the free version. For the paid version, yes, it can be used, but for the free version, you can use it for summarizing of the data, descriptive statistics, very simple type of statistics. You can use Julius, and it will do the job. So you just upload a file from whatever source you are going to connect. I just downloaded because I couldn't use any of my files, so I downloaded a free a publicly available data called ulcer recurrence. Okay, so this is, you can check, and then I will ask it to summarize the data in this research, and for example write down the results section. Okay, we can do the same on ChatGPT, right? You can do the same thing on ChatGPT, but why Julius is different from ChatGPT? Julius is telling you, you know what, my whole database is only for analyzing the data. Okay, my only database. I'm not going for medical history, economy. So that's why I'm very focused, right? So the more the model is focused, the more it will give you a better results. That's why when you know what you want to do, it will help you. I want data analysis. Okay, let me go here or there. Okay, I want to do writing assistant. Let me go here or there. Okay, so here they are using Python. It's not large language model. It's Python, normal Python, which is acceptable in statistics. Will be acceptable if I mention in my method section that I've used Julius for statistical instead of statistical software in case of conducting cross-section study? Would journals mind that? This is a very good question. This is a very good question. The problem with all these tools that they are, that they are new. So for new tools, to be in papers, it will take some time. So for me, I would not do that. And also, um, I will need to double check anything that I see. Uh, Maybe this is, this is for a paper. We actually have done a paper that will come soon. We compared using Stata, SPSS versus ChatGPT and Gemini in statistics, just to give whether it's acceptable to do statistics using ChatGPT, using Gemini before the new, before the new tools have, arrived. But we did not use it for descriptive statistics. We used it mainly for sophisticated uh, inferential statistics, and we have seen that it's not that accurate. But for simple statistics, I have used Julius myself for descriptive statistics, cross-sectional type of statistics, and it acts like as if it's an Excel sheet. It's simple and easy, and and but yeah, I did not say that I have used it in the, yes. This is a good question that I don't have answer to. Okay. Um, sorry to that. Okay. Um, yes. Okay, so it will give you the results at the end. Someone might say, I have tried ChatGPT and it gave me the same result. Again, I'm not against ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT daily. I'm one of those 12% that use ChatGPT on a daily basis. And I double check everything on ChatGPT. I double check my writing on ChatGPT. I ask it to be a proofreader for me on anything. What I'm asking here is sometimes some of the tools are very focused tools that and more user friendly than ChatGPT, that you can, because at the end in ChatGPT you will ask question and then another question and then another question, But here you know that if you come to Julius, if you have a cross-sectional study, you know that you will come to Julius and then you will check your notes and you will check everything related only to the analysis. So that's why it is more helpful in this. Or if you want something on your device, on your machine, you can use the data line. I think we will open for questions, but there are like one important tool, but unfortunately we will not have time to do it. But if you, because now some of you are speaking about systematic review, this tool, Elicit AI tool for systematic review, it work. Um, Previously we used to have Covidence for screening of the data, and we have Ryan for for screening of the data, Covidence, and extracting the data, Ryan, or the normal process using the Excel. Now you can extract the data using Elicit. So the systematic review, but unfortunately it needs the Pro version. If you are doing a systematic review a lot, or if you are a group, um, try to use Elicit. It's cheaper than Covidence, the one that Cochrane used, and it's it will consume less time than using Excel. Okay. Would we need to say we used Elicit? Yeah, you can use Elicit. Elicit is now uh, has been treated as if you are using Covidence, so it's becoming more and more reputable. So yes, you can use Elicit. Does ChatGPT help us in screening phase and save us time? No. Don't use ChatGPT in screening. In screening, you can use Ryan. And by the way, we can start now. You can use Ryan. They still have a free version. Till last year, it was completely free, but unfortunately, it's now a little bit paid. But they still have a free version that you can use. So you can use it, but I'm not sure what is this. It has been a while that I used Ryan, but you can use Ryan for screening. Would journals have an issue with these tools? Some of the tools, like how to search, nobody needs to know that how you did the search, right? The extraction, if you double check, for example, if I double check the Julius using Excel, and I'm sure that this is the result. Again, I don't want it, to be something coming out of me, but I might say I used Excel, even if it is for double check, but at least I double check using Excel. So if I used Excel in the screening as a double check, sorry, in extracting the results as double check, I might say I used Excel. Okay, I might say, okay, Omar, I did not say I will say I used Excel. I might say I used Excel. Okay. Um, so you just think about it this way. Um, I did not come across all the tools. There are many, many tools. You will need to, for example, Consens is one of the famous tools, and it's actually embedded within ChatGPT. You can check the consensus here. You can search consensus within ChatGPT. It's a research tool. It's a very good tool that you can use. But again, I did not came across most of the. If I find a tool that it's already within ChatGPT, then uh, you don't need it. Genie AI is one of the tools that many love and many hate. So if you come across it before, you will have the two options, because what is the good thing about Genie? Genie is writing, start writing, okay. You write, and at the same time, you can modify, and it will give you instantly, the reference that you are looking for the things that you are writing. I know it's difficult to do everything now, but please check Genie. It's a very supportive tool for writing, and Genie AI. But as I said, if you check the reviews on Genie, you will see many love it, and on the same time, many hate Genie AI. I'm not sure why it's not coming, but Genie AI is one of the okay, it's coming now. You see here, you start typing, and oh yeah, but this is the sorry, this is the free version. You see, you start typing, whether you want to accept what is written now or you try again. If I accept, it will give you the paragraph. You can modify in the paragraph. You can modify with possible critical illness and, for example, infection. Okay, so you on the spot, you can modify what is being written, and if you agree, you can just type enter and start giving you the new suggestion. But again, it's if you see the pricing, it's not that much. It's 36 real per month on the annual subscription. And again, so you go for this, okay, whether you accept it or not. If I accept it or I ask it for try again, and then you try again, and so on. And then you can change. You can change what you are writing, and if you don't like what you are seeing, so you can move on. I did not try it for research. Turnitin. Yeah, Turnitin is for assignments mainly. It's not for research. When people try to um, when people check for plagiarism for papers, they use Authenticate. But for assignments in medical schools, they use Turnitin. Okay, because Turnitin cross-validate with other students' assignments. But for papers, they use Authenticate because it cross-validate versus other papers in the literature. And now there is Authenticate AI, Authenticate AI that can even check the famous tools and check whether you took from these tools or not. We have, I think, 5 minutes. Can we speak briefly about how not to get caught? Um, um, Let me check. It's difficult to finish in 5 minutes, but let me tell you one thing, and this comes. And by the way, I did this search myself to see, and this is from using ChatGPT a lot. Okay, I came across these words that if I see it, I know that this is an AI. I don't need an AI detector. If I see one of these, let me give you one example. The word leverage, okay? Let me show you one interesting thing. And this will be the most interesting thing that you will come across. Okay, leverage. Okay, check leverage in PubMed. Check the years here. Can you see the years here? You see, nobody is using leverage till around 2021 when the ChatGPT started, and then all of a sudden, everybody in the whole world is using leverage. You see? So, why is this? Because actually, it's a ChatGPT generated, it's an AI generated word that nobody used before, and now everybody is using it. And you can see here that when everybody started using the word leverage. So these words, I came across most of these words by Votel, Enrich. I don't even know these words. Yeah, when you will use ChatGPT more, you will know these words. So um, at least if you just uh, don't use these words, your life will be easy. You will not get detected because these words. I wrote like a letter to the editor about them that these words are really are being used a lot now these days. So again, common sentences. These common phrases, try not to use because these phrases uh, are being used a lot now. Like play a significant role. In other words, this one you will see it a lot in the literature these days. To to put it simply, it's widely accepted. Play a crucial role in determining. So when someone asked me how not to get caught, you know try to disturb the sequence. This is the first thing. Try to disturb the sequence. What I mean by try to disturb or paraphrasing the tools is, you will see these words are, being repeated a lot. You need to change these words at the beginning. These words are, this is a red flag that you are using ChatGPT. Okay. Let me take two other questions and then we can you recommend the three tools for doing systematic review completely? Three tools. You can use, for example, the systematic review that I have showed you, it was all on Excel, okay? Nothing else by Excel. So Excel is still, a good place. If you want systematic review, not meta-analysis. For meta-analysis, I use Stata. There is a software called comprehensive meta-analysis as well. But for systematic review, you can use Ryan. Ryan is a good tool for screening of the data. You can use Elicit. Elicit is actually a good tool as well. Um, if you're going to pay for systematic review, go for Elicit, and don't use like it's only me. It's our group. Okay, so for the group, it's a username. So as a group, you can share with your colleagues, because the more we are progressing with AI, the more you will have more tools, in the future. Can I paraphrase the whole paragraph, but following the same pattern, but basically to avoid getting caught? What I need you to focus on is the flow is going smoothly or not? Because if the flow is not going smoothly, whether you paraphrase or you did not paraphrase, the flow is what matters. Okay, so unfortunately, most of the AI tools, they just put repetitive words. Just read any of the ChatGPT paragraphs, and you will see that you are reading the same thing in a different way. The same thing in a different way. That's why I told you I don't take the ChatGPT and I put it in the paper. I read it, I understand it, and then I write my own way. And then after I write my own way, I put it on ChatGPT for the proofreading, for my style. I'm not an English born person. So this is how I do it. I read, I understand, and then I write my own way, because if you just took it, it will be known for someone who is using ChatGPT a lot. It will be known that you are using. So whether you paraphrase or not, it's not what matters. What matters is you are following um, the right pathway or not. You move, for example, for the literature, you're moving from what is known to what is not known, or the knowledge gap, to what is what is the research question. How can we reach you? Oh yes, I put a slide at the end if you want to reach at any time. uh, all my emails, my X, my LinkedIn, my personal email, my Harvard course email, my Al Qura University, and my neighbor in UK email. Reach out to any of them, and yeah, definitely at any time. Can we get the slides? Yes, sure. I will send the slides to the organizers. But you see, we just finished the slides in like 30 minutes. The most important thing is and I'm sure they will share the recording with you. And the most important thing, to be honest, and I put it here as a take-home message: the more you practice, the more you will master it. So try to practice as much as you can. Try to practice the tool. Don't say, yeah, this is the important tool or this is not the important tool. The most important thing is to practice the tool as much as you can. What else? Okay, I think that's it. If anyone has any more question, you can reach out to me at any time. And
الله يعطيك
and now
العافية
you need to
دكتور.
check ChatGPT whether opened our eye is a good expression in English or not. Okay. Okay, everyone. I think we finished by this. If nobody has any question, um, let's see. We leverage our time. Yes. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.